Some numbers on money. The Treasury took in a record amount of money from individual taxes in the last 12 months, $1.863 trillion. At the same time, our deficit went up to $779 billion. James, that's not supposed to happen.
No.
We've got 4% growth and a rising deficit and record tax income.
Yeah, so some things have changed since the financial crisis. The United States is growing faster now, but the story of the last 10 years, if you looked at the picture of our finances, you would say this looks like a country at war. These massive deficits, and they continue now. And what's driving it now is interest expense on the debt.
Is that right?
Along with higher defense and higher entitlement programs. So I think maybe not tomorrow, maybe not next week, but soon there is going to be a reckoning where politicians in Washington will have to look again. You remember, nobody liked the sequester, where they cut defense and they cut social programs. But I think we're going to see increasing pressure to get there as these interest rates go back to normal levels. That's good. The economy functioning again, doing really well. But it means Uncle Sam is paying more to borrow. And that pressure is going to get more intense next year.
It's the third rail of American politics, though, isn't it? Because what you really have to do is reform Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid. You've got to reform them to save them. But trying to do that is an absolute nightmare.
Right, and we should point out it's not as big yet as those. The fastest growing entitlement program in the last year is Obamacare. So you saw how difficult it was trying to fix that, but that problem has not gone away.
Okay, John, what effect on the market? 4% growth and a rising deficit. Not supposed to be like that.
It's not going to have any effect on the market, not for a number of years, as James pointed out. The problem you have right now is not necessarily rising interest rates. It's these buffoons we have in Congress. They can't balance the checkbook. Look, the revenue coming into the Treasury went up 50% under President Obama. We're still running $1 trillion deficit. This has nothing to do with revenue coming in. You've had 4 tax cuts in the last 100 years under Coolidge, Kennedy, Reagan, and Bush. Every time, revenue has gone up going to the Treasury, and the GDP has accelerated. The problem this time now is these guys want to get reelected, and they will not balance the budget. I don't care how much money comes into it.
But no impact on the market.
No impact for now. James is right. Eventually, this is going to be a day of reckoning, but it takes a lot longer than what you think to become Greece. It could be 20, 25 years before there's a day of reckoning.
I don't think America becomes Greece.
I don't think they do, but Stuart, how could they not? I mean, I don't think they're going to become Greece. We can print money. Greece can't do that because they're in the EU. We can print our way out of this. We can default on debt. There's going to be a day of reckoning. We had debt double under President Bush. We had debt double under President Obama. We're back to $1 trillion deficits. President Obama is doing some wonderful things with the economy. We're at 4% growth, but we're not balancing anything. And sooner or later, that's going to come home to roost.
You misspoke. President Trump is doing great things with
President Trump, I apologize.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Sorry. Aren't you at the White House?
Tomorrow.
3 immigrants and Liz McDonald in the White House. That's great.
That's right.
That's what's great about America. And don't ever take another week off. Last week you took a week off and the market tanked. For the good of the country, don't ever take another day off, Stuart.
Okay, John.